Alright, what is going on, everybody? Captain here, back with another Marvel Contest of Champions content creator early access video. Get it right out of the gates. I'm not being paid to do this, guys. You guys know how this works at this point. We get granted a champion every other champion, I think is what it is. And then we get to review them for a couple days and then make a video about them, giving our opinions, basically. Quickly wanted to pause it real quick. I forgot to mention, he also will be taken away from my account at the end of this period. I do not get to keep this champion by any means. We never get to keep them. They get taken away from our accounts. So before anyone says anything about them in the comments, we don't get to keep the character. All right, back to the rest of the video. So this champion is coming out, I believe it's May 8th, so it's next Thursday. So it's Captain America Infinity War, guys. I made it into the game. You can clearly see the resemblance. Like we look just alike. Can't you tell? Let me take my glasses off, make the mean face. I think the similarity is uncanny. Basically, they've decided to put me in the game, so that's pretty cool. Thank you, Kabam. I appreciate it, guys. Real talk, guys. Captain America Infinity War, obviously from the new Avengers Infinity War movie. If you haven't seen it yet, go see it. It's amazing. I saw it twice already. Probably going to see it a third time. But let's go ahead and jump into this character. So he is a fully maxed level, rank 5, level 50, of course. And we'll hop right in. We'll get to the signature ability afterwards. So basically, he has these things called kinetic potential charges. So you get these numerous ways by either getting struck. You have a 15% chance when you get hit, actually getting hit. 50% chance when you're blocking to gain one. And that's increased to 100% on a well-timed block. So basically, if you get a parry off. 100% chance also if you're stunned, you gain one. And then the other thing to note with them, kinetic potentials fall off over time, falling off faster as the longer it's been since you've increased that number. So they max out at 5. I skipped that part on accident. So yeah, they max at 5. And after that point, if you gain another one, it just kind of resets it. So that's kind of cool. There are some other ways but to gain these, and that's with the signature ability, but we'll get to that. So what these kinetic charges do, when he has at least one of them, he is considered kinetically charged. Increasing his attack by 574, physical and energy resistance by 666.67. And so that is not stackable. That is not like per kinetic potential. I believe it's just the flat rate. So whether you have 1 or 5, it's the same right there. There is a way to increase that, which again, I'll get to. He has a 100% chance to nullify unstoppable buffs when striking the opponent. So this is actually a really unique ability. Really good for obviously Juggernaut and Unstoppable Colossus. The only other way this would really be useful, I feel like, is on certain nodes, like maybe the Chaos node if Unstoppable pops up, and just kind of numerous things here and there when Unstoppable pops up in the game. I'm sure there's other buffs I'm not thinking of at the moment, but my main focus that I found that useful for was obviously Juggernaut. So play a couple clips here. You can see right off the bat, you get the parry, and then you just immediately charge in, and it takes it away. It's super awesome, very useful when fighting Juggernauts. I know he's not the most painful champion to face anymore, but it still makes it easy. You see right there, right after he uses the special, you can just charge right back in, and you're good to go. So it's really fun, really easy to use, and you just don't have to worry about it. It's very nice. So it was a pretty nice thing to figure out in the game. So also down there, he said you have 30% chance to cause opponents' attacks to glance. Glancing hits cannot be critical, dealing 50% reduced damage. Suffer negative 100% offensive ability accuracy. This chance is increased by 100% against Mystic champions. So basically, he kind of turns into an Ant-Man also while he is kinetically charged. You just see glancing will pop up a lot of the times throughout the fight. So you really save yourself a lot of block damage there. It's kind of a theme with a lot of the Captain Americas. Obviously, they have really good block damage, but this glancing makes it even better. So that is a pretty cool ability as well. So while heavy attack is charging, you see this with a lot of champions in the game. You charge up a heavy and you gain a fury. This one, though, it is increased by 574 per kinetic potential. So remember, when the passive one is just 1 stack, but when you charge up the heavy, it increases based on however many kinetic potentials you have active on him at the time. So if you charge that up when you have 5 active on you, that'll be around an increase of 2600 attack or so, maybe 27. I don't know the exact number. And then there's a way to get a 6th charge, and again, we'll get down to that in a sec. Alright, so let's talk about his special attacks. So off the bat, before I get into each one specifically, I found most useful is to use the special 3 and then use the special 2. Why in that order, I'll explain it in a second. The special 1, I didn't quite use it that much. I did try to test out it says opponent's defensive ability accuracy is decreased by 100% when kinetically charged. So remember, you only need 1 kinetic potential to be kinetically charged. I went in against a Spider-Man, had 5 potentials active, and I used a special 1, and Spider-Man still evaded. So I don't know if that's broken, or maybe I'm just reading it wrong. Not so sure there. I did mention it to them on the forum, though, to let them know that that's what I've experienced. So who knows, I could be mistaken with that, so we'll find out. Alright, time for another quick little intermission. At the time I was recording this, they had not responded to my post, but since then they have. They said that there was a bug. They were thankful I pointed it out to them. They did not see that, so hopefully they said they have it fixed by now, so he should be working properly when he gets introduced into the game. But then moving on to the special 2, it has a 100% chance to stun for 1 second. Obviously would increase based on your masteries. Or synergies even. Each kinetic potential charge grants 574 attack and 0.5 seconds of stun duration. So the stun, and there also, this is stacks based on how many you have active. So the more you have, the longer the stun and the more attack you're going to gain. Then special 3, if kinetically charged, gain 1100 attack for each different class on Cap's team, not including himself. Up to 2 classes, gain 1 non-consumable kinetic potential charge, which lasts 30 seconds. So this is why I want to use the special 3 before the special 2. You use the special 3, you get that increase of attack based on how many classes you have in your team, and then you have that lasts for 30 seconds, plenty enough time to get back up to another special 2, and if it works out, you end up having 5 more charges at that time as well. Use a heavy, you get the increased fury from the heavy, and then you hit that special 2, guys. Let me just tell you, I've got some footage that I'm showing in another video against Realm of Legends Juggernaut, guys, so you're going to want to check that out. But I'm just going to tell you right now, that special 2 in that scenario can do some pretty ridiculous damage. And keep in mind, guys, this was only a rank 4. Now, it's not on the levels of the Proxima Midnight, but it still is pretty useful, which I think will make him a pretty solid champion, at least for Alliance War attack. I think he does have a place in Alliance War, probably not defense-wise though. His specials just don't seem to be that difficult, although the glancing might be kind of annoying. I still just don't think Alliance War defense will be a spot for him outside of diversity. But yeah, attack would definitely be good. Oh, actually, I forgot. I need to get into his special ability now, or signature ability. So, going into this now, so he's an excellent leader. Captain America learns from his teammates, gaining unique effect while kinetically charged for each class represented on his team, excluding himself. So this is, in a way, it's kind of like a whole another set of synergies, because it's again based on the team that you've built around your champion when you're in your quest or your Alliance War or whatever. So for mutants, he has a 100% chance to trigger chance on triggering a special attack to gain 1 kinetic potential. So there, remember when you use a special with him, they all get drained, but that's a way they just immediately, you already have one again, so you still will get all those other bonuses from being kinetically charged. Skill, 100% chance when a debuff is gained, consume 1 kinetic potential to purify it. So basically you just shrug it off if you have 1 kinetic potential on. Science, 100% chance to add a weakness on a well-timed block for 10 seconds. So that's kind of self-explanatory, pretty basic there. Just get a parry, you add a weakness to him. 100% chance for Mystics to gain 1 kinetic potential each time a buff expires or is nullified on the opponent. This is another synergy that I found really useful in that fight against Juggernaut I mentioned. So you'll notice anytime I attack him and I take off the Unstoppable or his Furies fall off, I just gain a kinetic potential, and I basically stay at 4 or 5 potentials almost the entire fight. So it is very useful. That Mystic one, if you're doing a quest, I'd say that's one of the top ones you want to have in there. So next is Cosmic, 100% chance on a well-timed block to place an armor break debuff on the opponent, reducing the damage for 10 seconds. So this is another one of the more important ones I felt, having a Cosmic, and the armor break definitely just will increase that damage on top of that special 2 will just make it hit even harder. If you get all those kinetic charges, you get a parry, you get that armor break on there, and you just will hit really hard. And then finally, the Tech, 100% chance on a well-timed block to place a 25% Petrify debuff on the opponent for 10 seconds. This is, again, another one of the more important ones, I thought. So in my opinion, it goes Cosmic, Tech, and Mystic. Those are the top 3 options for the class that I liked the most to have. And so with the Tech one, though, I found it really useful in a fight I did against Doctor Strange. It just totally, his passive power gain just totally canceled it out at one point, or it really just slowed it down by a ton. So that was really fun to see, really useful, and I'm not so sure if that applies to things like Mystic Dispersion or not. I would assume so, but since I'm not allowed to use this guy in anything competitive, not Arena, Alliance War, Alliance Quest, I can only use him in basically quests that I've already completed. So I wasn't able to test that, but I would assume it would work the same way, kind of how Void works as well. But I don't think you can stack it to the point where it'd be reversing it, but definitely cut it down to a good point. So that kind of is a quick run through of his abilities. Now going over to his synergies. His synergies are kind of different. They don't have unique ones toward him, but that's what his signature ability is for. But here you can see, again, for Tech Champions, Tech Champions drain 100% of the opponent's max power after the opponent uses a special attack. So that's kind of, it seems kind of weird to me, like, why would the power get drained after they use an attack because they're already draining their power? I don't know. I thought that was kind of interesting. Mutants gain a permanent passive plus 20% prowess. Skills gain a 250 crit rating on basic attacks, so just the basic attacks, nothing else. Science Champions place a passive weakness on the opponent, reducing their attack by 50%. Except while being struck by them. Mystic Champions deal 30% of their attack as direct damage to their opponent when nullifying one of their buffs. Cosmic Champions increase their buff duration by 25%. So it's kind of cool how, you know, each class has always had their own theme. Like skill is a lot of like bleed. Science is always kind of these weird like weakness stuff. Mystic is nullifying. Cosmic, their buff durations, and you can see that they really themed that with Captain America here along those lines, even with his signature ability as well. So it's pretty cool to see that. Overall, I really like the champion. He's fun to use. He hits pretty hard, as again you'll see in the video against Juggernaut. So I think he has a place in Alliance War for attack, definitely. He has some good blocking, that glancing, so he's pretty sustainable there. Alliance Quest, possibly. I personally prefer champions that have like a regen, so they're more sustainable. Basic questing, I think he's really good. I tested him out in a lot of content throughout the game, through the old event quest that just ended. In Act 5, I found a lot in the final, let's see, it was Act 3, Chapter 6, which on the whole science path leading up to Green Goblin, guys. I used him for like the entire fight, took everyone out until I got to Dormammu, and then I got kind of screwed, which was kind of weird because in his description they said Dormammu was a good counter as long as you have the experimental science or science experiment thing decreasing. I didn't find that really effective. The degen still hit me really hard, so nice try, Kabam. He's not a Dormammu counter. Unless one of the other content creators found a better use for him, I did not. But I think that just about covers everything for him. I'll quickly show you his attributes. He is marked as an Avenger and a hero, defensive utility. So there you go. There's all of that good stuff. But that's going to do it for this content creator early access video, guys. Make sure to check out the Juggernaut fight. I'm going to be posting in a little bit if it's not up already. But thank you for watching, guys, and I will catch you next time.